What's up people and welcome to this video guys. So in this video guys we're gonna be taking a look at the new hero which will hopefully be coming to Mobile Legends. And yes, I said hopefully because it's a fan art, okay? But it's an amazing fan art, and if Mobile Legends doesn't create this hero, I don't know what the crap they're doing, okay? Like, it's free work. Someone has done a hero, done every single skill, okay? Has made the, like, how it's supposed to look, how the skill effects is supposed to look, the skill coloring, you name it, everything is made, okay? So if they don't make it, yet again I will become mad because like I said, everything is done for them. He wants Mobile Legends to do it, so why not go ahead and do it, okay? Shout out to Resty Carl or Mamos, I think that's your name. I probably butchered it, I'm sorry, but that's the one who created this fan art, okay? So we're gonna jumping in directly because like I said, there's a lot of detail. He honestly, in my opinion, made it a lot better than the last time. It's just really cool. So bam, here you have the first image. This is how the hero is gonna be looking like, and as you see, he is looking a lot like a mage. Let me just check. He is an assassin fighter, so he's not actually a mage, which you might think by looking at this picture, but he put in so much details. Credits to this guy, okay? So you can see the thing which he has around his arms. It's basically some kind of a lock, so he can't use his arms, and that basically means he can't use auto attacks. I just love that he put in this work, but let's just go and jump into it because we have a lot of things to go through. Bam, here we have the first image. And here you can see a bit about him. He's called NECRO, Abyssal Angel. His role is assassin slash fighter. His specialty is charge and burst. And then he has 4 skills. But what is so amazing about this hero is that those 4 skills turns into other skills when they are used. Much like other heroes in the game as well. So I think this is amazing. I absolutely love heroes like that. But let's jump into the passive directly, and then I will be explaining a bit how the skill works and how the skills works together and stuff like that. But here we have the passive. So like I mentioned before, he won't be able to use auto attacks, which this passive basically explains. Necro is cursed by the Lord of the Abyss, so he's unable to do basic attacks, but he created a rune surrounding himself that deals 100 to 380 points of magic damage to enemies inside the rune every 2.5 seconds. Whenever Necro dies, his rune stays at his location for 8 seconds, dealing damage to enemies, heroes dealing damage to enemies, heroes regain 20 points of energy and 10 points from enemy units. I didn't really understand that last part, but there we have the passive, and here we have images of basically his rune, which he basically constantly has surrounding himself, and when he walks close to an enemy, something, it will automatically attack that enemy and deal the damage, okay? But here you can basically see a picture of how the skill set will work. When skills are used, they become another one for a short period of time. So you can see that the first skill, when you use that, it will become another skill. So he basically, the first skill is 2 skills, then the second skill is 3 skills, and the ultimate is basically also 3 skills. So let's gonna jump into the first skill immediately, and here we have that. It's called Swift Blessing. Necro dashes to a location, increasing his movement speed by 25%, his magic power by 20%, and his defense by 30% for 3 seconds. After casting this skill will become Rune of Slowness, which we will go and take a look at in a second. But here is how the skill effect would look when he's using the first skill for the first time. So as you can see, he jumps, and then this happens. He doesn't deal any damage to the enemy. He basically just improves his own skills, his movement speed, and a lot of stuff. He just improves himself. But then the second version of the skill is here, Rune of Slowness. Necro charges to a location, dealing 100 points of magic damage to enemies along the way. Necro leaves a rune that slows down enemies. The rune lasts for 1.5 seconds. Then the skill then returns to Swift Blessing. So here you have some images of that. You can see when he jumps over Layla right here, it deals some damage. I think the first skill, it sounds like a good skill. He can jump twice with the first skill. Actually, if I remember correctly, I think his ultimate, he can also jump, or maybe it was the second skill. But he is an assassin, you gotta keep that in mind. So he's supposed to jump a bit. And then here we have the second skill, which is going to be called Abyssal Claw. NECRO uses his remaining abyssal authority to summon an abyssal claw that pulls the first enemy it hits towards him, and knocking back enemies at the opposite side of the skill in a fan-shaped area, dealing 50 points of physical damage, gaining 100 points of damage absorption for 3 seconds. After the skill then becomes Swift Blessing 2, but then here you have the images how it will look, and I think it's just insane how good these images actually look like. He put in so much work to this, it is just amazing. I think it looks just great. Okay, Mobile Legends just create this. It's an awesome hero. But then, like I said, the second skill turns into a second stage of the skill, which is called Swift Blessing 2. NECRO dances to a location, increasing his movement speed by 25%, his magic power by 20%, and his defense by 30% for 3 seconds. After casting this skill then becomes Poisonous Rune. So this Swift Blessing is basically the same as his first skill, very similar. That's why it's called Swift Blessing. Maybe because this guy has so many skills, and honestly, in my opinion, when you have heard all the skills, you would think it's a bit overpowered, so maybe remove this skill or something, because maybe this makes him a bit overpowered. But here we have that. It's basically a second jump, which increases his statistics. So yeah, but then we have the third state of this skill, which is called Poisonous Rune. NECRO creates a projectile rune that poisons the first enemy it hits, dealing 50 points of magic damage and 50 points of physical damage after 0.5 seconds. This skill can be used again if it hits a target successfully within its time duration. After duration, the skill returns to Abyssal Claw, so it goes back to the first skill again. But here you can see it in action, using the second skill like you know, the projectile, and then it can be used again if it successfully hit an enemy. But still amazingly work on the second skill right here. Let's gonna jump over to the ultimate and gonna take a look at that. So here you have the ultimate, which is called Charge of Necromance. NECRO charges at the target, dealing 100 points of magic damage and leave a dual ritual rune. The skill can be used again to another target, but without the dual ritual rune. Using this skill disables the rune surrounding him for 8 seconds. After the second charge, the skill becomes Deterrence. Passive, dual ritual rune. The enemy that has a rune will take 50% of the damage NECRO dealt on another hero. The rune lasts for 5 seconds. So here basically have the first state and kind of the second state, but you can see the ultimate here charges at Layla, and then he can charge yet again at the second Layla here. So you can see him dealing damage twice. And then we have the second stage of the ultimate, which is going to be called Deterrences. I'm completely sure to pronounce that. NECRO jumps to a designated location carrying an enemy hero near him and deal a falling damage to 100 points of magic damage and gain 100 points of damage absorption for 2 seconds. After casting the skill returns to Charge of Necromance. So there you have it, and here you can see some images of the second stage of the ultimate. Well, I guess it's the third stage of the ultimate, to be clear. But yeah, so there you have all of his skills. Okay, I will be showing some more details about him a bit sooner. So before I go any further, I'm gonna leave a link in the description for the guy who created this. He actually has a Facebook page, which I'm gonna leave down in the description if you want to check it out. So link in the description for his Facebook page. Go and check it out. But let's go talk a bit about this hero. First of all, how many jumps does this hero have? So let's see. His passive doesn't have a jump. Okay, his first skill has 2 jumps. Okay, his first skill has 2 jumps. I'm sorry, bro. I just want to go take a look at it. He is an assassin, so it makes sense. Then his second skill, let's see how many jumps it has. It has, let's see, it has 1 jump, so that's 3 jumps in total. Then let's go take a look at the ultimate, which also has, well, I guess you can call it that. I guess you can call the ultimate 3 different jumps, because if you hit the first skill of the ultimate, you'll be able to jump again. And then you can also, you know, carry an enemy with you. So in total, let's see, that's 7 jumps. This guy is mad, okay? So I think he's a bit overpowered, yes, okay? Because he can boost himself so much, he can jump around so much, he has so many skills, okay? But you gotta keep in mind, he doesn't have any auto attacks, okay? No auto attacks whatsoever. The only thing he can use is basically his skills and, well, his passive, okay? So I think this hero is still probably a bit too overpowered, even though he doesn't have auto attacks, because I guess his passive with the rune around him attacks everything which is around him. That is just what I think. So that is very, very overpowered if it is in a team fight. Okay, then it's even better than auto attacks. So maybe nerf his passive a bit so it doesn't deal as much damage, but then at the same time, you know, it's gonna be hard for him to, you know, last hit minions, last hit enemies. This is definitely a difficult hero. I think he's very, very cool, and I really hope Mobile Legends will go ahead and do him, create him, because he is very unique. He's very, you know, unique. So I wouldn't really call him an assassin fighter, okay, because he isn't a fighter, because he can't use auto attacks. I'm sorry, bro, but okay, I would call him an assassin mage, okay, because he just overall look like an assassin mage. He looks like a mage, but obviously he also looks like an assassin, and he jumps around a lot, and but his skills kind of feels like a mage skill, so I would just call him an assassin mage. But yeah, but here you have basically his lore. If you want to gonna read that, I won't read that. And here you also have all the things he will go ahead and say, because yes, he did create an entire freaking, you know, voiceover for this guy, which is just completely insane, okay? Yet again, link in the description for his Facebook page. But guys, comment down below if you want this hero. I would definitely love to see this this guy in the game, because this is overall amazing. But I hope to see you next video, but as always, thank you for watching.